Have you ever wondered, when someone blows up online and goes completely viral, how much of that was just luck versus the video actually being good or better than other videos? The algorithms on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok are so intensely secretive, so tightly guarded, that no one in the general public has the answer to that question. So that's why I was extra shook when a couple of days ago, I found it. I believe I found the answer to that question. It was just sitting on this Instagram account right there in the open. So I'm gonna show it to you. I'm not sure if I'm the first person to talk about this, but I came across it entirely organically this week, and I cannot believe that no one has tried this before. Basically, you've got this pretty viral video from a creator named DangerBean55. It's about a board game you might have heard about called Settlers of Catan. Very fun game that I do play. It's on our games shelf. I'll show you the video later because it is, in my opinion, extremely funny. But in this case, it's not the video itself that's interesting. It's this other account called 1000 Days as a Fool, which has already posted that exact same video once every day for over 4 months, over 100 total times and counting. And even the video captions are exactly the same, except for one number, and that's the day counter climbing its way up to 1000. Everything else is exactly the same every single time. And by now, especially if, like me, you have a background in science, then this is starting to seem a whole lot like a good old, brilliantly and tightly controlled experiment designed to find the answer to that age-old question. How random exactly is success in online content creation? How much of it is the quality of your work versus just random chance? All right, so I'm gonna show you this very short video just so you have some context for what's being posted here over 100 times, and also why it's called 1000 Days as a Fool, since it's a reference to the video itself, and also just to highlight the seriously great work of this creator. So you have about a minute to decide whether you even want to know that answer. Here is the excellent original video by DangerBean55.
And okay, here we go. Oh my god, there's 7. Are you serious? Not my lucky day. This guy. Something troubling you?
Surely there's been a mistake here.
What mistakes do your eyes see? Please tell us.
Where the burglar appears to be placed on my highest yielding wheat field.
I'm afraid no mistake has been made.
But are your people not enjoying bread made from my
And are
wheat?
your people not living in stone halls?
From the resources that I've given you illustrate my point perfectly. We were engaged in trade.
My people no longer have use for your bread. We take lamb from the north.
But what about us? We're friends, no allies. What of that?
People of the Orange Kingdom do not make alliances.
We had an alliance!
You had an alliance. If you thought that was an alliance, then you truly are a fool.
I'd rather live 1,000 lives as a fool than breathe a single breath as a tyrant.
Yo, I just won.
What?
Yeah, I just got longest road. It's over.
Oh yeah, true. Okay.
I wanted to see where this was going.
God, that's anticlimactic. Huh?
Winning that didn't even feel good. I think I'm having a panic attack. I don't want to clean this up.
Personally, I definitely see why this video went viral in the first place. Well done, Mr. Danger Bean. And now let's scroll all the way down to the bottom of the 1000 Days as a Fool account to see if it always goes viral. Are these views really mostly based on merit, or are they just random? And if they are random, then how random are we talking here? Well, my friend, this is your last chance to remain in blissful ignorance, because in just a few seconds here, we are about to have the answer to that question, at least for Instagram, which is the only platform on which he seems to be running this experiment. I did also check TikTok and YouTube, and I couldn't find a 1000 Days as a Fool account like this one except on Instagram. And I should also clarify, I don't even know if it's the creator who's doing this. It could be someone totally different. But okay, let's get our answer. So the first day of 1000 Days as a Fool is the only day I could find on which this account posts more than once in one day. So we've got 3 different posts here, all with relatively similar views. The top one gets double the views of the lowest, 18,000 views versus 43,000 views. So there's some variation, but certainly nothing earth-shattering here, like nothing hugely conspiratorial. Day 2, we get one more video, about 27,000 views, kind of similar to the first ones, and this is truly your last chance. Click off if you do not want to know. Okay, I warned you. Day 3, 6.2 million views. Day 4, 4.7 million views. Okay, so we're viral now, right? This account has blown up, as they say. Are you sure? Same video that just got 10 million views over 2 days. Day 5, 99,000 views. Okay, so party's over, right? The algorithm has caught on. Day 6, 1 million views again. Day 7, 101,000 again. Day 8, 123,000. Okay, so pretty consistent right now, right? Like this is now consistent. We've now come back down to reality. Nope. Day 9, 10.8 million views. I just want to remind you again, this is the exact same video, and 10 million is 100 times more than 100,000. These views are 100 times different on the same video posted 1 day apart on the same account. Okay, so it was 10.8 million on day 9. Guesses for day 10? How about 60,000, 1/200th of the previous day, and we can go on. Let's do that. So the next day is 83,000, and then we've got 681,000. The next day is 641, but the next day is 184. Then we've got 204. Then we've got randomly 2 million again. Then way down to 76K, way back up to 1.2 million, way back down to 79K. Like, this is crazy. This 4-day span is insane. This is the same exact video getting like 7-figure versus 5-figure views. This is 2 entire orders of magnitude different. Okay, so what does this mean for you and me, or for content creators? Well, I'll tell you one thing that it clearly quantifiably means, and it's that your views on a video that you put your heart and soul into, like weeks or even months of your life into, could be as a result of pure luck, exclusively pure luck, anywhere from around 30,000 views to over 10 million views on the same exact video just because of luck. Like, this is not some double the views difference or even 10 times the views type of difference. This is 300 times different. And honestly, I feel like the size of this difference could be kind of difficult for us to wrap our feeble human minds around in like a very tangible, real way. So let's put it into terms that basically anyone can understand intuitively, and that actually gets us even closer to the impact that this randomness might have on the career of a real creator. Let's put it in terms of money. And no, Instagram famously does not pay creators at all for views on its platform. Otherwise, I would use their ad rates for this. That would be super easy. But since they don't, let's use YouTube Shorts rates instead. Now, the rate that YouTube pays you for YouTube Shorts views can vary widely. Like, there's a huge range of different payouts that people are getting, since it can depend on things like where your audience lives. So let's just take some very recent data from a channel that, if you're watching this video right now about YouTube and making stuff, then you might already be familiar with. And they're also very reputable, so we can trust their data. And that is vidIQ. They make stuff about YouTube content, so if you're watching this, you might have seen that. Anyway, they shared their analytics from just a few months ago in February of 2025, and it looks like they're getting around $180 in ad revenue from every 1 million views on YouTube Shorts. So taking it back to the experiment here on 1,000 Days as a Fool, if indeed it was an intentional experiment, I have no idea. If this video were a YouTube short, the difference between 30,000 views and 10 million views on the exact same video, or very roughly 300 times more views, the value of that difference in real money terms is the difference between getting paid $2,000 for that video or getting paid $6 for that video versus $2,000. That is the difference that we're talking about here. That is the magnitude of a 300x difference. So you could either buy 2 brand new iPhones or 1 pint of beer. You could buy about 22 Xbox games for $80 each, or less than a tenth of even 1 game. This appears to be the range, the real potential variability in the success of any one of your videos, again, at least on Instagram. And the impact of this to me is absolutely insane, because obviously as creators, we're not just gonna post one video over 100 different times. We're gonna post that video exactly once. And wherever you happen to land on this extremely broad spectrum, that is what you are stuck with. It doesn't matter if you spent a day on that video or spent an entire year. It barely matters if the video is super good or kind of mid, because if you can have a 300x difference in the same video, then that means you could make a video that is, say, 10 times better than your previous one, and the randomness of the Instagram algorithm could still have 30 times more influence on that video's success than that massive increase of 10 times in your video's goodness. And honestly, while I'm extremely shocked at the scale of this difference, as a small creator, I'm not surprised at all that the difference exists. I'm not surprised that the same video can do so differently, because although I've only ever posted my videos once on each platform, I generally post my videos on several different platforms at the same time with the same video and the same caption. And I've seen my videos on different platforms under different algorithms perform extremely differently. Take this video, for example, on my other channel where I make mostly travel and food type content. I think it's a good video, maybe the best one I've made on that channel. And on YouTube, it got 52,000 views. On TikTok, it has, want to take a guess? 52,000 on YouTube. And on TikTok, it has 6.6 million. It has about 127 times more views on TikTok than it does on YouTube. And on Instagram, it got 1.2 million. So again, good, but very different than YouTube. And speaking of which, here's my most viewed video on Instagram with 2.5 million views. Care to take a guess how many it has on the other 2 platforms? Well, on TikTok, it is almost 2,000 times less at just 1,441 views versus 2.5 million for the same video on a different platform. And on YouTube, it's about 4,000. So again, hugely, hugely less. This video got 500 times more views on Instagram than it did on YouTube and TikTok combined. But why? It's the same video. Well, I think maybe we're seeing why based on this experiment that we have shown here. And it's not just that I'm getting more views on Instagram in general either. Here's my most viewed short on YouTube. It's honestly not even a good video in my opinion. It was before I was telling stories or even showing my face on this channel. It's a long story, but it currently has 174,000 views on YouTube Shorts. On Instagram, 10,000. TikTok, 600. It might even be my least viewed TikTok, and it's my most viewed YouTube short. So clearly, the same video on different platforms can perform wildly differently. And as the 1,000 Days as a Fool example showed us, even the same video on the same platform can perform wildly differently with absolutely no rhyme or reason whatsoever. I'm sure we can talk at length in the comments about what this implies for creators, and I'll give some of my thoughts on it in a sec, but there's a whole other interesting conclusion here too, which is that clearly the Instagram algorithm did not care if this account posted the exact same video over and over dozens of times. Like ultimately, this is basically a spam account, and it's just still letting it go viral. So like there doesn't seem to be any sort of like sophisticated algorithmic choices here. I think we like to assume that the algorithms of these platforms are pretty intelligent, that they're like good at finding the content that people want to watch and serving it to the people who want to watch it. But this kind of blatantly shows that it's dumb. And arbitrary. Like Instagram's algorithm doesn't even know what's in this video. It's just an algorithm. It's apparently a very chaotic one too, because it can take the same video and handle it very differently for apparently no reason whatsoever. Okay, so the main reason that I made this video was just to show people this and get the word out about it and see what you think down in the comments. But here are just some of my thoughts. So first, and maybe most obviously, all the big successful creators trying to claim that a video's success is primarily based on the merit of that video, they're wrong. At least that's the case for Instagram. But based on my own personal experience posting the same video on different platforms, including YouTube, it really does seem like this randomness applies across platforms. And of course, it's not hard to imagine why these creators would prefer to believe that their success was based on their own efforts and not on pure dumb luck. In fact, it makes perfect sense to me why any creator would want to believe that it's the quality of your video that matters, because if it is mostly just about luck, if it is mostly just about what the algorithm decides to do with your video that day, then that is so depressing. And even as a viewer, we would prefer to believe that the reason a video was served to us is because it was good, and not because it was just some random roll of the algorithmic dice. Everyone, viewers and creators alike, would prefer to believe that if you make good stuff, then you could blow up and make a career out of it, and not what might be closer to the reality, which is that whether you blow up or not has less to do with the quality of your video than it does with the random whims of an unthinking algorithm. But when we're talking about multi-million view virality, it's not about your video. It's about luck. And even after showing you the data to prove that that is true, I don't want to say that. I don't want to conclude that. I want to find some way to qualify or sugarcoat it, but here's the best I can come up with. The video that this Instagram account posted over 120 times is a very good video. It clearly had viral potential. If it wasn't good at all, it's entirely possible that the algorithm would not have ever let any of it go viral. If it wasn't good at all, then it's possible I never would have found this account in the first place, because every single time they posted it, it would only get like 200 views or whatever, like even like 20 views. So I think the video itself here clearly did matter, and I don't think this necessarily tells us that the quality of your videos doesn't matter at all. More specifically, what I do think it tells us is this. As people often say in the context of your chances of making it big as a professional athlete, for example, it's not good enough just to be good. You also have to be lucky. You have to be good and lucky. It seems like the same goes for success in content creation, or for the success of any one video. And I think I'm saying something here that most people would actually find to be obviously intuitively true when I say it's not enough for a video to be good. It also has to get lucky in the algorithm. Like, we've all seen great videos that didn't manage to get even like 10,000 views. Like, if this were a meritocracy, then that would not happen. But it does. All the time. And I feel like a reasonable counter-argument to what I'm saying here might be something along the lines of, well, then why does Mr. Beast get so many views on every single video? I think there could be a lot of different explanations for this, but here's the one that I think is probably happening, and it's that he's already huge. And so many people already know who he is that he couldn't possibly get less than like 50 million views or so, regardless of the video's merit. Like, if we look at his channel here, currently Mr. Beast has 413 million subscribers. That is so many. That is more than the population of the entire United States. It's the most of any channel on YouTube, but you have to go back 14 videos to find one of his uploads that got half as many views as he has subscribers. Currently, that's the one with Cristiano Ronaldo, so some clear star power there, pulling up the numbers. And that was 7 months ago. So to me, at least, it seems pretty obvious that people like Mr. Beast have just become sort of too big to fail. But for those of us still trying to get that first viral hit, it's not enough just to get half as many views as we have subscribers, because otherwise we would never grow big enough. We would never call that a viral video. But if Mr. Beast does that, we do call it viral. But is that really impressive? Mr. Beast's videos can't bomb anymore. Like, there is no video that Mr. Beast could post and get less than 1 million views. He already made it. He doesn't need the luck anymore to get his videos sent out to people. But that doesn't mean that the rest of us don't need luck to make it big, or that he didn't also need luck to make it where he is today. It was never enough to just be good. You also had to get lucky. So when big YouTubers like Mr. Beast deny that there was any luck involved in their rise, it does a huge disservice to small creators still trying to make it work. I made a previous video about how 97% of YouTube channels have never managed to get monetized. Does that mean that 97% of YouTube channels just never made any good videos? Of course not. Again, we've all seen really good channels that just haven't blown up yet. The channel you're watching right now, in fact, has less than 1,000 subscribers, below the monetization threshold. I'm still one of those 97%. And if you're a creator watching this, then odds are you are too. It's literally more than 30 times more likely that you're a creator who hasn't made it yet than a creator who has. But the biggest thing that I want you, the creator who hasn't made it yet, to take from this video is this right here. If you haven't made it yet on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or wherever it is that you post your videos, do not let people like the internet's richest greenwashed purveyor of candy, plastic, and junk food to children convince you that it's because your videos aren't good enough. This video by Danger Bean was good enough, and it still only went viral 1/10 of the time. So if your last video bombed, please do not get discouraged. Don't start doubting every little choice you made or every word that you said in it. Just pick yourself up, learn what you can, and make 9 more. Because what this also tells us is that statistically, if you make 30 videos with viral potential, then the odds that one of them doesn't get picked up by the algorithm are actually really small. Meaning the more good videos that you send into the world, the better your chances of making this thing work. You just have to keep rolling the dice and keep making videos, way after most people would quit. At least that's what I'm telling myself. So please do subscribe to directly help make it happen for at least this one small YouTuber, and please do give me your opinion on all of this in the comments. I do really want to know, am I missing something? Do you find this encouraging or discouraging? I want all of your thoughts, and I will be reading every single comment. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you in the next one, which may or may not be a repost of this video over and over dozens of times until it finally goes viral due to mostly random chance. I am semi-serious. I might do that as an experiment because I think it would be extremely funny. Okay, bye!